touch it just yet. And I think, you know, it's either those first item rushes or like a fourth or fifth situational.
Yeah, I know Lolia has been trying out Malefic Gun, Sky Piercer on his Moskov and carry, and then afterwards he would just sell it because he figured that it's not as good as he thinks. Whereas Benny will have different idea, either him or Brands. But finally, Roger being taken out, this is one of the heroes that I feel like needs attention because of how strong Benny QT make him look like.
Oh yeah, with the new Warcry as well, it just feels like he doesn't lose in lane ever, even when you're up against a Moskov. But even so, we go straight into the draft. We see the Angela, we see the Harith ban for the side of EVOS Holy currently on red side. Falcons holding priority, banning out the Loyi and as well as the Roger. Pretty standard bans.
Yeah, you can, in fact, I think in Falcon's position, you could think of banning Valentina if you really want the Faramis. The chip is still an option, right? So the I feel like the onus is on EVOS Holy's side to see what they want to ban out. So for Falcons, they can kind of decide what they want to go for.
I mean, there's a couple of angles that they can go for here. They ban out the Valentina, then it's either they get chip or they get the Faramis. If they ban out the chip, then it's going to be a traditional matchup. Ooh, if they open it all up, it's a little bit more red-sided then.
I think EVOS Holy can also open both, right? I suppose they could ban chip, and then they would still get either Faramis or Valentina. I think FALCON should be less worried about that first phase. They can take out the chip, so just as predicted. You see if FALCON get PX7 his Faramis.
Yeah, and then instantly we should, if we do see the Faramis on blue side, then it should be the Valentina and maybe a strong EXP laner that doesn't affect the Farsa later down the line. That's what I'm expecting to see from EVOS Holy. Oh, Moskov!
Throwing a curveball. So you're still opening up the options. This could go towards a Fredrin pick, either Fredrin Baxia. I know TLPH has been leaning towards the Baxia a lot more this patch, especially when you want to Lord Dance. We did see Rebellion Esports go for the Carmilla, but that would be a second phase choice. So Valentina Edith will be the opening.
I like this a lot. It's very flexible. It's expecting of Falcon to actually pick up their comfort heroes, and there's plenty of heal to do so. Yu Song gets locked in just in case they needed some backline access. They pair it up with Fredrin. This might be an assassin angle for EVOS Holy.
Hayabusa, right? Something that you did mention for Annabelle.
Or even Julian. Both of which do pretty well.
They could consider a link. It's always up on the table, but taking the marksman first. So not much risk taken by EVOS Holy in the first phase to pick up the Claude. But this is where you can really start clamping down on PX7's draft, hero pool.
Yeah, and I think it's a good idea to actually, you know, double down on that side of the map. So far, artillery mages don't have a particular answer, and I think that Falcon might just lean into the Faramis regardless, but we'll see whether EVOS Holy gives away information. Nope. You're going to completely deny the strat.
Especially when you have Fredrin, Moskov, Yuzhong, a lot of die potential. So Faramis taken out leaves PX7 with lesser room. No Valentina. I mean, there's Lilia and the artillery mages, which could be good. Farsa now looks pretty juicy to deal with the Claude. They'll opt for the Alpha ban first to protect this Fredrin.
Okay, I think that's totally fine. The Alpha Band situational pick especially good against these tank-style junglers. Now, EVOS Holy holding the priority so far. What else are they worried about, right? Because even if they do have Farsa, they can go into Grok. There are natural answers to it. And if they're getting rid of the Faramis, it means that they want Dreams in particular to play something that isn't so teamfight-oriented. It might still just be the Minotaur at the end of the day, to be fair.
Yeah. Even the Edith, there is a flex option for EVOS Holy.
We'll see whether...
Looking at a potential Farsa, I suppose. Depends on who they want to protect, right?
That's the thing. Like, as much as I want to see Falcon actually pick up the Farsa for themselves, it might be counterintuitive. We see the Matilda banned out, and I think that EVOS Holy recognized that, right? It's a potential counter pick down the line, especially since you're on red side, you have priority. You can kind of see what else Falcon is going to deploy before you go for that final pick.
You only have so much time to prep for Falcon's match, right? It's been quite a long day for these two teams. I think EVOS Holy got a lot more breathing room, I suppose. Matilda banned out, I think, for Falcons right now. Yep, takeout setters, so it could still lean towards a potential Farsa pick just because of the Terizla ban.
Well, this will be interesting to see. Minotaur gets locked in for the side of EVOS Holy, which means that this Edith is going to head over to the EXP lane. Let's see whether it's going to get punished by the side of Falcons.
Wow, they're saving that jungler for last. It could go to the Baxia Akai to deal with the Fredrin. We'll see. In Falcon side, it's time for the mid lanes and the Romans. I think a potential Grok pick. That wouldn't be too bad for Falcons. Aside from that, what else do we have?
don't think they want to give them any valuable ults for the Valentina, and they need a particular answer to deal with the peel coming in from Edith. Man, this could be tough. Because Loyi is already out of the question, so if we're talking about mid laners, artillery mages might just be the only way that Falcon can actually get relevant magic damage into these fights.
What a Yeve. So they still stick with the Barca. That's what the Terizla ban is for. Ruby being picked up, so at least you have some sort of crowd control to kind of deal with EVO's Holy. And the Hayabusa shows itself.
That was a good call. Honestly, really good call and really good foresight from Falcon's side. Locking in that Ruby just knows, hey, if EVO's Holy is waiting so long to the final pick to pick their jungler, it's most likely going to be an assassin. As long as we have a way to disrupt and keep him in check, we have an opportunity.
And it's just an extra layer on top of what they already have. You know, Fredrin, even the Moskov himself has some sort of crowd control. So EVO's Holy, it's time to, they gotta pick their moments to fight. Most important is to get Annabelle ahead as soon as possible. Hit the Sky Piercer timing. Some players, they go for Fury Hammer and then a Sky Piercer just to get the extra oomph. And if he gets to that point, then I think EVO's Holy is going to have a good time.
Personally, for me, I'm one of those Fury Hammer starters into the Sky Piercer because I think that having that component alone gives you a lot of flexibility in that game. If things aren't going well, I'm not going to rush the Sky Piercer. I'm going to finish off the Hunter Strike so I can get out of the situations.
Yep.
But considering how Annabelle played the last time on the Hayabusa, hopefully we get to see that ridiculous KDA at the end of the game.
Yeah, we'll see how fast he can kind of push the tempo with the help of Dream. It's not particularly a draft that can go for the invade. We'll see if EVO's Holy will push the limits. Game 1 to be Falcons against EVO's Holy. Both in the lower bracket. Only one team will make it through to this at the end.
Falcon's going to be on the blue side. EVO's Holy on the red. I want to see how Annabelle approaches these fights, especially the bigger team fights, right? Because we need somebody to threaten PX7. He can't just get away using Feather Airstrike into the middle of EVO's Holy.
It should make life pretty hard. Still go for the Monster Hunter for Annabelle, so clears the way faster. I think we were debating a bit. On Monster Hunter or the Master Assassin, right? Do you want that extra damage on top of Warcry, which I think totals up to 15% on an isolated target? But I think in this case, Annabelle, he just wants to speed up the farm as much as possible. Even mid lane Pryor, in fact, going a bit more towards EVO's Holy.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Kid X on this Ruby, very, very effective at trading, but unfortunately doesn't have the raw pushing power just yet. He's gonna need a couple of levels before he's actually relevant. Plus, he didn't take Concussive Blast. He opted to go for Grave Smite. But in the meantime, down to the bottom side of the map, Brands, he's got to be a little careful, right? Because earlier, we did see that Benny, he's going Common Emblem, same with Brands, and I think both are going for Master Assassin, but we do see Tier 2 boots finished by Brands, and Benny opting to go for Steel Leggings.
Control, pull back towards the flicker away. So that's crucial resources out of Dreams for Falcons. They're leaving Royal Milk on an island. There's really nothing much that he can do. The wave was frozen by Fluffy early on, and with Annabelle hovering there, you don't want this user to go down.
It kind of looks like EVO's Holy is opting to skip a early level 4 for their mid laners, right? It feels like Annabelle doesn't want to be part of the turtle fight at all. It's better for him to scale and actually invade his opponents now that the 2-minute mark is over. Maybe he might get an isolated pick.
And with Royal Milk slowed down, I think EVO's Holy would feel a lot more comfortable if they want to consider any sort of contest. Fluffy will go back to lane just to hit the 4. Falcon joining just in time, so the timing for EVO's Holy is already on point. Kid X doesn't have 4, neither does PX7, so this is not an easy turtle fighting. Gotta let it go.
The level difference, 5-4, and Falcons, it took way too long. They didn't rush it down, and now they back away. This is great for EVO's Holy. That slight gold lead is really coming in from Annabelle power farming.
He's gonna hit 6, so a constant level and a half ahead of Dax. You can see Dream starting to pull the turtle a little bit just to set it up for Annabelle. It's gonna be a tough one. I mean, even for PX7, yes, we hit level 4, but Dreams has a way to cancel it. No flicker on Dreams could make the difference.
This is gonna make a difference. Oh wait, hold on.
Pull back. PX7 needs to wait for the timing. Annabelle now shows up. Instant dive to the back. Fluffy cancels the ultimate. Like Dragon Ball into a Petrify onto Dreams. Fluffy still has the retribution. Wins it with a level advantage. And gets a Sky Piercer right after that. First blood for Annabelle. And EVO's Holy picks up 2 more in the process. It's gonna be Kid X and Dax to fall.
Insane. Really great mechanics coming in from Annabelle. Takes the caution. Wait, hold on, Brands. He's in trouble. PX lands the stun.
Oh, purified. Yeah, extra shield from Blazing Duet.
Nicely done. Nicely done from Brands. Unless PX7 gets his ult here, right now, that should be a kill. He's out of the lane. He's out of the lane.
Yep.
Great game sense coming in from Brands. Great game sense. So far, I think, you know, Annabelle, he's played this really well. He's a full level ahead. He's found the picks that he wanted to. Hit Sky Piercer at a pretty early time to take out Royal Milk initially, but it just goes to show, this Warcry emblem, it's so easy to proc.
Does it count kills or takedowns? Takedowns, right, on Sky Piercer?
Sky Piercer, yes,
Yeah,
takedowns.
if that's the case, then he just got 30 stacks from that one sequence.
Wait, 30 stacks would mean 3%.
3%, yeah.
So
the wording is a bit...
Yeah, well, don't worry, guys. We'll do the math for you. So currently, he's at 9% for execution rate.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to see. Anybody below 9% will instantly die to anything that Annabelle throws at them. But more so, just the fact that the Warcry triggers so early on, and I think this might have to be nerfed later down the line. I think the 6 second duration after you trigger the Warcry is a little too much.
Even the conditions for Annabelle to proc is easy, right? Your
Yeah,
quad
so
shadows,
easy.
if it sticks onto someone, that's one stack. Your quad shadows, for those who might not be familiar, does do damage. So you follow up, auto attack, throw some shurikens, and that's it, Warcry.
Oh, buying daggers. Is he looking to get some anti-heal? Well, it doesn't matter with Benny already dead. This means that Brands is going to have a successful laning phase.
He's kind of placed plants into the wall, but I feel like he's going to be safe. FALCON shows up, even has the I'm offended. So EVO's Holy, so far, clean game. 3,000 goal lead already.
Slowly choking out their opponents, but the worst part about this is that they're in the exact same position like they were not too long ago, like 2 minutes ago with this turtle.
PX7, not going to reach that in time. Spirit Destruction missed, so no follow-up. They even commit the Black Dragon from afar. And Royal Milk is going to be forced to go back into the lane to deal with Brands, who has already went for the lane swap.
Honestly, really good decision-making coming in from Annabelle. He could have honestly probably one-shot Kid X off.
Yeah, it's a bait.
It's a bait. Not worth it. Not worth it. You got to be real careful. And I think Annabelle is also hyper-aware that at any point of time, if he gets locked down even once, it's going to be donezo for him.
And then he can't even stay in the lane because of Annabelle. And he can try and get Fluffy, but Fluffy
Primal?
should still have the Primal Rabbit. Wait,
doesn't
it's
have
on
it?
cooldown. He's going to flicker. Rest of the team shows up. Annabelle instantly finds the backline. They're going to control him, but not enough damage to take him out in the end. Kid X is the first casualty, and the second one goes over to Clawhood, who did have the Feather Airstrike.
Oh, I'm surprised that Annabelle managed to walk out of there. I think he was perma-CC for so long. The Feathered Airstrike just doesn't have enough damage as of right now, and they didn't commit all of the shots to him.
And Dex still wants to fight this. Royal Milk, he had to walk from top to bottom, and for the second time, there's nothing for him.
He's not getting this very effective rotation so far, but I mean, during these neutrals, he's trying to get into position, but it feels like EVO's Holy, with Annabelle already so far ahead, like he is keeping up with Brands of all people in this game.
Even Clawhood is a full level ahead of PX7, so EVO's Holy, they will be sitting at a 5.2k goal advantage, and Royal Milk will eat the entire OG Shadow kill. It's not enough from Annabelle just yet, but it's sufficient pressure for EVO's Holy to take control of this top side.
This is starting to look interesting because now EVO's Holy, their tempo is increasing so fast. Whenever Falcon Esports want to reset, go back into the lanes and catch a wave, that's when you see EVO's Holy make the attempt, because it's the only few times that we expect Falcon Esports to not be clumped in as 4 or 5 people.
Annabelle just got the had the Hunter Strike, so Hunter Strike, Sky Piercer, third turtle on the board right now. EVO's Holy, they can let Falcon start this and not worry at all. Annabelle will be almost 3 levels ahead of Dax.
Yep, and that's not great for Dax. I mean, he will scale harder into towards the later stages of the game, but can he protect his backline in the meantime? These neutrals are possible to walk up to.
Not sure if Dax even wants to attempt. He will try, but it's going to be a mistake. He's not even going to hit the timing for the retribution. So turtle for EVO's Holy, and Dax ends up going down.
Yeah, they have to call it quits at some point. There's just too much CC to deal with, right? With Fluffy, with the Earth Shatter, with the knockups coming in from Dreams as well. Worst comes to worst, like even Clawhood with the Terrify, there's just too many ways for them. Spirit Disruption actually connects onto Annabelle. I don't think he's going to be taking that, but finding these picks are so important for Falcon to keep themselves competitive against EVO's Holy.
It's a shutdown as well. Falcon did have a bounty on his head. That one went over to PX7, who desperately needed, because he is, what, 1.5 items behind Falcon at this point. Blood Wings first item just because of Annabelle's presence.
How long can they get away with this? The item this one more time. Wow, Later Despair Rush coming in from Annabelle.
I don't think it's too big of a problem, right? He's so far ahead. And a better airstrike to push Brands out. It's all about defending this mid turret. Annabelle will not take that. Not into 4 members of Falcons. I think as long as this mid turret stands, I think Falcon will have a bit of an easier time playing against EVO's Holy.
Yeah, and I think once that Blade of Despair as well gets completed, Annabelle, he's already maxed stacks on that Sky Piercer. That's 12% that he's trying to hit. That's the threshold that he's looking for. And I think that Falcons are playing a very smart game, making sure that nobody is left behind.
EVO's Holy now could probably just try and make space for Benny and either that, go for pickoffs, and wait for the next objective. Brands, he really wants this tier 2. Not going to get it just yet, but with the rest of EVO's Holy showing up, this could spell death. Royal Milk can't even fly away. His Claw couldn't find a top tier 2 falls. I mean, Falcon trades a tier 1 bottom, but that's all they get.
Poor guy melted. He didn't even stand a chance. Even with the steel leggings, it's just not enough to deal with the raw damage coming out from everybody of EVO's Holy. This team is too far behind to really contest with this upcoming Lord, and I think maybe even the second Lord to a degree.
I agree. If Annabelle is 4 levels ahead of Dax, have to have some really crazy trigger fingers to even win this. 3 levels down. Still, Dax is the only one in that area.
I think Dax has got to give this
dead.
up. No red tree.
I think you just chase him, right?
Yep.
So Dax falls, Lord for EVO's Holy. This lead is not stopping. It's continuing to increase EVO's Holy's favor.
Man, this is really painful to see, right? Dax just having no impact in this game whatsoever. And as hard as Falcon Esports is trying to get to the later stages of the game to actually scale PX7 and also Benny, they are the catch-up gold is not going to be enough. Even if they take a full fight against EVO's Holy and completely wipe them, it's just not enough gold to put themselves in a comfortable position for the upcoming Lord.
That first Lord also means that Falcon, they will have to give up on the outer tier. And mid lane is going to be exposed, so Falcon's only way to stay in the game, or at least the most effective one, is going to be eliminated.
You think they're actually going to get an inhibitor off of this? I feel like if EVO's Holy gets an inhibitor, it's checkmate angle.
I feel like Dreams can try, right? They all have Flicker ultimate. Dreams feels good about himself, chunking down the members of Falcon. On the better airstrike, that's PX7. He's going to stand there, he's going to eat Clawkun's damage. And Annabelle almost finding the kill with the shurikens. So inhibitors still stand thanks to the turret shield, but EVO's Holy still continuing to do damage.
Oh, do they have another wave after this, or was that already the second wave? I'm pretty sure they have one more wave to work with, and they've already chunked it down. Looking at the minions, yeah. They've got one more Lord-empowered wave, but it's kind of staggered, right? The wave down bot side slows down, and it's not in sync with the top side, so they're not going to have a simultaneous push.
EVO's Holy actually didn't even use much. Just a Stolen Feather airstrike. Didn't really have to commit. Played slow and steady. They are almost 10,000 ahead of Falcon at 12 minutes.
Yep, this is the checkmate angle.
Oh, Luffy finding a catch. Royal Milk doesn't get to move at all. Had to Furious dive. So that's another Feather airstrike forced out from PX7. A necessary defense mechanism. Annabelle finds Benny. They try to split the damage on the Shadow Kill and they will be successful. So Benny gets escorted out.
Good dash, a good flicker coming out from Benny. Times it just right to make sure as soon as the Oki Shadow Kill tick happens off of him and moves to the next target, he's out of there to not give him the extra range. But still though, it is still a 9.5k lead for the side of EVO's Holy, getting 3.7k gold difference off of that Lord advantage alone. I mean, we're not even talking about the EXP at this point because it's not worth mentioning. A majority of the members from EVO's Holy is about to hit 15.
Even if Falcon wins the next Lord fight and wipes EVO's Holy, it probably would not even equalize the net worth.
That would put them at like what, 42 to 36. So that means one more, unless it happens like at the 50-second mark of Lord spawning. Then sure. But other than that, it's 15 seconds until the next spawn. So EVO's Holy, they're going to take their time. They can honestly say, hey, Falcons, you can take position first because we don't want a Lord dance. It's better for us to let you sit on top of it. Right now,
with this new patch, the Lord can be weaponized. 10 seconds after aggroing, he starts dealing true damage, and there's really nothing much you can do about it. Pretty beefy. So Falcons, they've exposed 3 of their members, and EVO's Holy, they can start taking position at the Lord pit.
Yeah, and they also know that PX7 doesn't have that feather airstrike, so with the information in hand, EVO's Holy can really take their time with this.
Feather airstrike just to clear the bush. EVO's Holy surely will get the Lord at this point. Falcons will just have to give it up. It's not even an attempt. They try with the Black Dragon form, but Dax isn't even near. So Royal Milk not able to get much out of that.
Perfectly played by EVOS Holy. The most that they lost was a flicker from Dreams, but with the lead that they have, they don't even need a clean engage at this point, right? It can be messy as long as they knock up the correct targets, which is PX7, and if they're lucky, Benny.
They can be a lot more generous with their skills also.
Oh, for sure.
So 11,000 gold advantage, and just in time for the Luminous Lord to spawn. 30% max HP increase for the Lord in this patch after summoning. That means if you are snowballing already, it's going to get harder to find Fluffy. They'll pull him back. The burst damage, it's not enough still. Fluffy didn't even have to use the ultimate.
Okay, that's not too bad. That means he can pop the ult a little earlier for this upcoming siege if necessary, but he's just sticking with the Minotaur, with the Minoan Fury. Sorry, not Minoan Fury. Motivational Roar. He's popping himself up.
Did use the Minoan Fury from Dream. Right, for Rap, another two-man pull from Kid X. That is the angle for Benny to find a kill. Ogi Shadow View on the Kid X. They're going to split the damage. Sky Piercer execution does not trigger, so Kid X gets to walk away. In EVOS Holy, they only get one inhibitor.
Honestly, really good play coming in from Kid X especially. He knows for a fact that Fluffy does not have his flicker. So if he walks up forward and it comes too close together with his targets, that's an instant punish here. I think that EVOS Holy, unfortunately, that checkmate angle didn't come into position just yet. They didn't get enough kills to really seal the deal.
Yeah, that's the defense of the Crystal successful for the first big siege.
Oh my god. It's a 12,000 gold. 12,000 gold on Hayabusa compared to 6,600. Nearly double his farm. Oh yeah, no, he's clearly double his farm.
He's maxed out, right? Endless Battle, BOD, Malefic Roar, Sky Piercer. Wouldn't be surprised if he gives up that boot soon.
Oh boy, it's not looking good, but at the very least, Benny is full items. Wait, actually no, he doesn't have the Malefic Roar, but he does, in matter of fact, the Winds of Nature. Hopefully that's going to be enough to keep him alive in these types of fights, but at the same time...
Benny, Winds of Nature had to be used. Benny will just heal all the way back up. Annabelle, it's going to be taunted. Here's the burst Annabelle needs to go, and they'll find it. Benny finds the kill.
That's it.
And that's Malefic Roar.
Yeah, that's a huge shutdown in a matter of fact, right? And with that being said, with that Malefic Roar, now the frontliners have to be a little more careful approaching these fights. They cannot just get free hit by Benny.
Hitting front lines is definitely something that Benny does not mind. We have a concealed Kid X starting to take up space with Dax. I think Falcon Esports recognizing that we now can slowly go for the pickoffs. We need map control for the next Lord.
Ah, man, it's so unfortunate, right? Because Falcon Esports, instead of saying, hey, I'm going to approach this Lord, I'm going to give you a free fight, instead, they've been targeting the frontliners, the heavy engagers, whether it be Fluffy or even Dreams. Get some flickers, get some resources out of them.
They did find Dreams, and that's his flicker as well. So Lord spawning top side, I assume Falcons would probably send Royal Milk to deal with that wave. But Lord is very, very important for EVOS Holy.
So far, EVOS Holy has not been able to isolate or really focus down on a singular target. I think Kid X has been taking the majority of that damage, but he flickers out of there just in time to save his life. And right now, EVOS Holy really need to double down on targeting one person at a time rather than the entirety of Falcon Esports.
Wait, so Annabelle just went back for Hunter Strike, so at some point he did sell an item, but not sure where that was.
I'm pretty sure he sold his dagger initially, right? No, he sold dagger for Malefic Roar.
Yeah.
So Hunter Strike for Wind of Nature, maybe?
I suppose.
I didn't see it pop up, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have missed it. I might have missed it.
Branch just went for the Windtalker, so that's Boots sold. Sky Piercer for Benny. I mean, the shutdown did accelerate his item power spike.
That's true. See how valuable it's going to get as this fight is about to begin here. Falcons don't want to sit on top of the Lord first, but they've got an encroaching position. Like, Kid X can go for the flank.
Pretty risky for Dax, so might have to eventually let out the aggro.
I mean, if for Fredrin, like Lord Dancing, not that bad, right? At least with his passive and absorbing those energy crystals, he's able to get his HP back up to full whenever necessary, so he can basically do this forever.
Falcon set up a slow push down bot. They have PX7 here with mid and Benny top. The waves managed pretty well by Falcon Esports. And Kid X is literally sitting in that bush on the bottom side for the longest time ever. That's why Falcon Esports can constantly dance. EVOS Holy, they're not in a rush to pull the trigger.
Yep, and that slow push is really taking its time down on bot side. No urgency from EVOS Holy just yet. It's a very, very slow start. But now we're seeing the immortalities come out more often than not, and hopefully we get this. I mean, somebody's got to deal with these waves, right?
mean, Evo Holy, they're still hanging around there. So far, they only see Dax and occasionally Royal Milk on the top side, but even that top wave, it's going to take some time in. So PX7 will use that Feather Airstrike first, just missing the edge of that bush.
It's totally fine. That Feather Airstrike, especially at level 15, with the items that PX7 has, he will get it back real quick. Really, really quick. But they've got Brands down on the bottom side of the map, and now looks like Falcon Esports want to reposition for the encroaching angle, I suppose.
PX7 kind of swap places with KidX. KidX is going to take a more frontal spot just so he could get to the Lord Pit faster.
This is what I was worried about with the changes to the Lord, right? When nobody really wants to sit on top of it. Oh, conceal?
Yes, in the bush. He sees Fluffy and FALCON. Can't get in range for a pull just yet. It's a good attempt, Falcon Esports, but now information confirmed.
Oh, the rush has begun. Wait, they back away.
They got control over the bush, but KidX needs to get out. Knocked off an Earth Shatter. It's going to be Branks on the corner. KidX flickers to safety. Maintains his immortality, but has to recall. He was holy now. Gains momentum over the Lord Pit.
Okay, so they trade. They trade effectively, and Fluffy should be okay.
So loses immortality, perhaps Green, Minoan Fury, Benny dodges that. Fluffy loses that immortality and attempt to steal, but again, unsuccessful. Brands finds the kill onto Royal Milk. He was holy, finds Lord Tree.
Does Annabelle? I mean, we haven't seen Annabelle like really pop off with his ult just yet. He's been really struggling to actually get some relevant damage because of how tightly knit Falcon Esports is so far. And I think with the space that is given for free is on purpose, right? They want them to kind of fall into these pincer maneuvers. They want to fight for position, and more importantly, so whoever uses more resources generally is going to lose that fight. Annabelle now switching up the build a little bit more, right? Going for the Blade of Hephaestus to make sure that he has that extra oomph when he dashes in.
Yeah, sold the Sky Piercer for that. And Branks, he used his Winds of Nature, so now it's Winter Crown. Winter Crown blazing duet. He was holding the sea. They should be able to break all inhibitors. Annabelle threatened PX7. The minions will do the work. Benny will have a lot of things, a lot of weight on his shoulders. Full engage, Dax will tank out most of it. Dreams to the back. And that's going to be Dax down. Evo's Holy just has too much damage. And 20 minutes in, they're going to take game 1 over Falcon Esports.
Nicely done coming on from EVO's Holy. A slow game, and honestly, Falcon had an opportunity to bounce back, but it looks like towards the end,